Title: Blood of the Mummy. Genre: Horror int. Ancient Egyptian tomb. Night, a flickering torch illuminates the dark, damp interior of an ancient tomb. The walls are covered in hieroglyphics, and the air is thick with dust. We see Dr. Lucy Cole, early 30s, sharp, determined, and her team, Tom, late 20s, cynical, and Melissa, late 20s, cautiously moving through the tomb. They are searching for an artifact rumored to hold immense power. Lucy, whispering, "We're getting close. The artifact should be just beyond this wall." Melissa, "Are you sure about this, Lucy? This place feels wrong." Tom, laughing nervously, "Yeah, you think? We're deep inside an ancient tomb filled with curses and traps. What'd go wrong?" Lucy, ignoring Tom, "This could change history. We just need to be careful." Lucy approaches a strange, ornate wall covered with symbols. She examines it closely, finding a hidden mechanism. With a soft click, the wall slides open, revealing a large sarcophagus. Lucy, there it is. She steps forward, her heart pounding. The sarcophagus is ornate, its gold-covered surface shining even in the dim light. A faint smell of decay fills the air. Tom steps back, uneasy. "Tom, you don't think this is the tomb of some powerful pharaoh, do you?" Lucy, slightly annoyed, "That's exactly what I'm hoping for, Tom." Suddenly, a loud, terrifying creak echoes throughout the tomb. The walls tremble. Melissa, frightened, "That wasn't us." Lucy, "We need to move now." But before they can take another step, the lid of the sarcophagus lurches open. Inside, the mummified body of a man, Pharaoh Camuzet, is revealed, his face twisted in an eternal grimace. A strange dark liquid oozes from the sarcophagus, pooling at the base. Melissa, whispering, "It's blood." Tom, sarcastic, "Of course it's blood. Why not? It's always blood." Lucy, "This is it. We found the legendary artifact, blood of the mummy. It's said to grant immortality, but at a cost." The ground beneath them shudders violently, and the temperature drops. The mummified body twitches. Lucy, urgently, "We need to get the artifact and get out." She steps forward, reaching for the ornate jar beside the sarcophagus, filled with the strange blood. Tom, wait. "Lucy, that thing's cursed." "Don't." Before Tom can stop her, Lucy grabs the jar. The moment she touches it, the tomb rumbles. The mummy's eyes snap open, glowing with an eerie red light. Pharaoh Camuzet, ancient voice, echoing, "Who dares disturb my slumber?" The mummy lurches to life, its bandages unraveling as the room grows colder. Its hand reaches out toward Lucy, fingers clawing toward her throat. Lucy, panicking, "Drop it. Drop it now." Melissa, frightened, "It's coming after us." Tom grabs Lucy by the arm, pulling her backward. The pharaoh's hand grips her, dragging her toward the sarcophagus. Tom, struggling, "Get away from her, you freak." Tom tries to pull the mummy off Lucy, but it's no use. The pharaoh pulls her closer, his voice now a terrifying growl. "Pharaoh Camuzet, your blood will feed my power. You'll be my vessel." Lucy struggles, the jar of blood still clutched in her hands. Her eyes are wide with fear. "Lucy, I don't want this power." With a desperate cry, she throws the jar into the air. It crashes against the wall, spilling its contents across the floor. The room goes silent for a moment. But then, the pharaoh roars in rage, his body contorting as the blood from the jar swirls around him, infusing him with unnatural energy. His form begins to grow, his muscles bulging as his power increases. Melissa, screaming, "We need to get out of here now." The walls of the tomb begin to crack and break apart as the pharaoh's transformation continues. "Lucy, we're not going to make it." Tom pulls out a flare gun from his bag and fires into the air. The explosion of light illuminates the tomb in a blinding flash. For a moment, the pharaoh's body freezes, then begins to disintegrate in the fiery light, his flesh burning away as his bones crumble to dust. Tom, shouting, "Run!" The three of them dash toward the exit, the tomb shaking violently behind them. As they approach the entrance, they can hear the pharaoh's final scream echo through the tunnels. They burst out into the open air, the night sky above them. The tomb is collapsing rubble and dust falling around them as they race away. They don't stop running until they're safely outside the perimeter. Desert outside the tomb. Night they stop to catch their breath, panting and shaking from the terror. Melissa whispers, "What was that thing? What did we just unleash?" Lucy, quiet, shaken, "It wasn't supposed to happen like that. The blood, it was meant to be a tool for immortality, not this." Tom looks at her, disbelief in his eyes. "Tom, seriously, that thing wasn't a tool, Lucy. It was a monster." The camera pulls back, revealing the ruined tomb in the distance as the sandstorm whips around them. In the wind, we hear a faint whisper, the pharaoh's voice calling for revenge. Pharaoh Camuzet, you have only delayed the inevitable. My blood will return, and so will I. Fade to black. Blood of the Mummy. Part 3 EXT. Desert. Dawn. The first light of dawn spills over the horizon, casting an eerie glow over the ruins of the tomb. The wind stirs the sand, swirling around the wreckage. Lucy, Melissa, and Tom stand near the entrance of the tomb, their clothes torn and their faces drawn with exhaustion. Tom is barely holding on, his chest rising and falling unevenly. Tom, breathing heavily. That thing is still out there, isn't it? Lucy, looking at the ruins, we don't know, but I can feel it. He was never truly gone. That blood, it didn't just give him immortality. It bound him. Melissa, slowly, fear creeping in her voice. What do you mean? Lucy glances at the shattered remains of the tomb entrance, her eyes focused on something in the distance. There's a low, rumbling sound, like a growl from the depths of the earth. Lucy, quietly, the blood didn't just bring him back. It infected this place. The tomb, the very land, it's part of him now. The curse is alive. Tom, struggling to stay upright. And there's no way to stop it? Lucy closes her eyes for a moment, her mind racing. She remembers the ancient hieroglyphics she saw earlier, the symbols on the walls, the ritual sacrifices. Her eyes snap open with realization. Lucy, there might be one way. The heart of the Pharaoh Camuzet. If we can destroy it, we can sever his link to this world. Melissa, uneasy. You mean the heart of the mummy? Lucy, nods. It's a source of power. As long as the heart remains intact, he can keep coming back. Tom staggers toward Lucy, grabbing her arm. Tom, urgent. Then let's go. Let's finish this once and for all. Lucy, firmly. We need to go deeper into the tomb. The heart wasn't in the sarcophagus. I saw it, hidden in the very center of the chamber. Melissa, voice trembling. We barely escaped with our lives last time. Do you really think we can do this? Lucy, focused. We have to. EXT. Tomb ruins. Continuous. The team makes their way back into the ruins, stepping over the crumbled stones. The air feels heavier now, the dark presence growing stronger with each step. There's a palpable sense of dread, as though the very earth is holding its breath. They reach the heart of the tomb, the chamber where Camuzet had first risen. The blood sigil is still faintly glowing on the floor, but the strange, ominous energy in the air is thick and suffocating. Lucy, pointing toward a dark alcove there. That's where the heart is hidden. As they move toward the alcove, a sudden gust of wind blows through the tomb, extinguishing their torches. The walls shake, and the ground trembles beneath their feet. The pharaoh's voice booms from the darkness. Pharaoh Camuzet, voice distorted, mocking, you cannot kill me. I am eternal. You will only feed my hunger. Lucy whispers, hurry. They reach the alcove, and in the center, nestled within a stone pedestal, is the dark, beating heart, still alive, pulsing with malevolent energy. Tom, looking at it, that's it. That's what's keeping him alive. Lucy nods. We destroy this, and the curse is over. Suddenly, a flash of red light erupts from the walls, and Camuzet appears, fully restored. His eyes glow with fury, and his decayed form is more monstrous than ever. He moves toward them, his movements jerky and unnatural. Pharaoh Camuzet, roaring, you think you can stop me? You are fools. Melissa, screaming, Lucy, do something. Lucy doesn't hesitate. With a swift motion, she grabs the ceremonial dagger she found in the tomb. The dagger glows with a faint blue light, its edge shimmering in the darkness. Lucy, shouting, get back. All of you. Camuzet lurches toward her, his decaying hand swiping through the air with inhuman speed. But Lucy is faster. With a primal scream, she plunges the dagger into the pharaoh's heart. The moment the blade strikes the heart, the tomb explodes with an earth-shattering shockwave. The red light intensifies, then shatters, and the ground beneath them begins to crack open, revealing an abyss of endless darkness. Camuset's body twists and contorts, his scream filled with rage and agony. His form begins to disintegrate, his flesh and bones turning to dust as his power is completely obliterated. Lucy, voice trembling, it's working. But just as the pharaoh's form vanishes into the air, a whisper slithers through the tomb. Pharaoh Camuset, whispering, "You think you've won? The curse is forever. I am a part of this land, and I will return." The darkness grows, but the pharaoh's form is no more. Melissa, crying out, "What does that mean? What does he mean, Lucy?" Lucy, whispering, exhausted, "The curse might be over for now, but some things, they're never truly gone." The team watches as the tomb begins to collapse around them, the ruins falling into the abyss below. The very earth seems to be reclaiming what was once disturbed. They turn and run, the tomb crumbling behind them, the curse of Camuset seemingly over. For now, desert, dawn. The three of them stand on the edge of the crumbling ruins, panting and covered in dust. The sun rises, but there's no peace in the light. Tom, looking at the horizon, "Is it over?" Lucy, softly, "No, not yet. It's never over." They turn away from the ruins, but the camera lingers on the ruins, where a single red glow flickers faintly in the distance. Blood of the Mummy, Part 4, EXT, Desert. Night. The desert is still and silent, stretching endlessly under the cold, indifferent moon. The remnants of the tomb lay in ruins, buried beneath the sand, a distant memory of the horrors that once thrived there. Lucy, Melissa, and Tom are now standing in front of their vehicle, their faces haunted, their eyes reflecting the weight of what they've just survived. They're tired, but the journey is far from over. Tom, leaning against the car, "So, that was it? We just leave? We leave with no answers?" Melissa, sighs. Tom, "We've seen what happens when we dig too deep. That thing, Camuset, whatever he is, it's clear now. The curse is more than just a story." Lucy, looking at the horizon, distant, "It's not over. Not by a long shot." Tom, staring at Lucy, "What do you mean?" "Camuset's gone. His heart's destroyed. The tomb's buried." Lucy, frowning, "No, the tomb's buried. But the blood, it's still out there. The curse is bound to the land. We just don't know how deep it runs." Suddenly, an eerie wind sweeps through the desert, making the sand swirl in unnatural patterns. The air feels charged, almost alive, as if something is stirring just beneath the surface. Lucy clenches her fists, her instincts telling her they're not safe. "Lucy, urgently, we need to leave. Right now." Before anyone can react, a distant rumble shakes the ground. It's faint at first, but it grows louder, closer. The earth beneath their feet trembles. A loud crack rings out as the sand shifts in the distance. The very desert is moving. Melissa, eyes wide, "What the hell is that?" Tom, stepping back, "We need to get in the car. Now." As they scramble into the vehicle, the rumbling intensifies, and the earth splits open. From the crack, a massive stone structure rises slowly from the sand, the remains of a much larger, more ancient tomb. A tomb that should have been buried forever. Lucy, whispering, horrified, "No, this can't be real." Tom, panicking, "What the hell is happening?" The towering stone structure begins to shift and rumble, its walls coming alive, undulating with a dark, unnatural energy. Eyes, red and glowing, begin to appear across the surface of the stones, staring down at them. Lucy, eyes wide, "It's him. Camuset. He's calling something." Melissa, fearfully, "But we destroyed him. We killed him." Lucy, gripping the steering wheel, "We destroyed his body, not his curse. The pharaoh was a vessel, a part of something bigger, something that was never meant to be buried." The car lurches forward as the ground continues to quake. The vehicle sways wildly, but Lucy manages to steer it. She presses the pedal harder, desperate to get away from the rising structure. But it's no use. The stone tomb looms ahead, impossibly large, emerging from the desert as if it were never meant to be hidden. A dark shadow rises from its depths, and a voice, low, ancient, and terrifying, echoes through the desert. Pharaoh Camuzet. Voice booming, reverberating, "You cannot escape. The blood of the land is mine. You have only delayed the inevitable." Tom, yelling, "We need to get out of here. Go, go." Lucy floors the accelerator, but as they drive toward the open desert, the sky above them suddenly darkens. A massive sandstorm sweeps in from all directions, blinding them. The sand is like sharp needles against their skin, and the wind howls like a beast. Melissa, screaming over the storm, "Lucy, what's happening?" Lucy struggles to keep control of the car. The sandstorm is more intense than anything they've ever experienced. The storm is alive, as though the very desert is trying to swallow them whole. Suddenly, the car lurches violently, and they're thrown forward as the tires sink into the sand. The vehicle stops dead in its tracks. They're stuck, trapped. Tom, frantic, "No, no, no, no. We're not going to make it." Lucy grabs the flashlight, quickly scanning the area. They need to get out of the car, but the storm is relentless. And then she sees it. Figures emerging from the storm, shadows cloaked in robes, their faces obscured. They move toward the car, their footsteps silent in the chaos of the storm. Lucy whispers, horrified, "They're here." The figures close in, surrounding the vehicle. Lucy rolls down the window, her hands trembling. One of the figures steps forward, revealing a face of fleshless decay, the face of a mummy. Mummy priest. Voice hollow, raspy, the blood calls. "The pharaoh has risen again, and you will not escape. You belong to him now." Melissa, screaming, "No, stay away." The mummy's hand reaches for the car door, but Lucy reacts instinctively, slamming the door shut and locking it. She looks at Tom and Melissa. Both of them are pale, fear written on their faces. They have to fight, but how? Lucy, urgent, "We have to get to that tomb. We can still stop this, if we can find the heart again. We need to destroy it." Tom, struggling to unbuckle, "How? How are we supposed to do that with all this happening?" Lucy, urgently, "There's no time to explain. The curse isn't just Camuzet. It's tied to all of this, the entire land. We have to destroy the source before it consumes us all." Suddenly, the ground shakes again, and the stone structure begins to open, revealing the pharaoh's form. This time larger, more powerful than ever. His decayed body is wrapped in glowing dark bandages, his eyes now fully alight with a demonic glow. Pharaoh Camuzet, roaring, "You dare defy me again? You cannot escape my blood. It has already consumed you." Lucy, shouting over the roar, "We're not running anymore. We're going to finish this." They open the car doors, bracing themselves for what's to come. The desert erupts, and the battle for survival begins once more. Blood of the Mummy. Part 5 EXT. Desert. Night. The wind howls around the group as they face the towering, resurrected Pharaoh Camuzet, his body distorted and larger than life. His decayed form is barely recognizable, his bandages glowing with an unnatural, eerie light. His eyes burn with a fiery, malevolent red, and his voice is a deep, earth-shaking growl. Pharaoh Camuzet. Voice booming, "You cannot fight what you cannot see, what you cannot kill. The curse belongs to me." Lucy, gritting her teeth, "We're done running. We're ending this." Lucy turns to Tom and Melissa, her voice low but urgent. "Lucy, quickly, we have to find the heart. It's the only way to stop him. We've seen the chamber. It's in the tomb, somewhere near the center. We don't have much time." Tom pulls out a flare gun from his bag and looks at Lucy. "Tom, serious, you think we can just walk up to that thing and destroy its heart? We're dealing with something beyond anything we've faced." Melissa, looking around nervously, "If we don't try, we're all dead anyway." Lucy nods, determined. The Pharaoh Camuzet steps forward, his footsteps shaking the very ground beneath them. Pharaoh Camuzet, snarling, "You cannot win, humans. You dare defy my will? I am the embodiment of death, the keeper of eternity. You are nothing." Suddenly, a blinding flash of red erupts from the ground beneath their feet, sending a shockwave through the air. The sand shifts violently, and a giant hand of stone and bone rises from the ground, wrapping around them in a vice-like grip. Tom, yelling, "This is it. We're trapped." The hand tightens, but Lucy's resolve doesn't falter. She grabs the flare gun, taking aim at the sky. Lucy, shouting, "We have to move now." She fires the flare, and a bright light cuts through the desert, igniting the sand in a blinding explosion of color. The stone hand jerks back, releasing its grip, but the pharaoh Chemuzet raises his arm, and the air freezes, the temperature dropping rapidly. She fires the flare, and a bright light cuts through the desert, igniting the sand in a blinding explosion of color. The stone hand jerks back, releasing its grip, but the pharaoh Chemuzet raises his arm, and the air freezes, the temperature dropping rapidly. Pharaoh Chemuzet, snarling, furious, "You think you can defeat me with fire and light? I will consume your souls, and your blood will feed my eternity." Melissa, screaming, "We're not giving up. Not this time." Tom and Melissa take off, running toward the entrance of the tomb, with Lucy right behind them. The storm intensifies, but they push forward, their determination growing with every step. As they approach the ancient stone door, it begins to close, but Lucy reaches out, using the flare gun to jam it open. Inside, the air is thick with darkness, and the tomb feels alive, pulsating with an ominous energy. Shadows shift on the walls, and faint whispers echo in the silence. The light from their flashlights flickers as they move deeper into the tomb. Tom, voice shaking, "How much further?" Lucy, urgently, "We're almost there. Stay focused." The tomb opens into a larger chamber, a circular room with a stone pedestal in the center. On the pedestal is the heart, a blackened, throbbing mass, still wrapped in ancient bandages. It pulses with an otherworldly energy, and Lucy feels a wave of dread wash over her. Lucy, whispering, "There it is." As they approach the heart, the walls of the tomb begin to close in, and the air becomes suffocating. The pharaoh's voice echoes from the shadows, now more distorted and inhuman. Pharaoh Chemuzet, voice reverberating, "You cannot escape. Your souls are mine. The curse is eternal." The ground shakes as Chemuzet's power continues to surge, and the air around them grows heavy with the smell of decay. Melissa, terrified, "How do we destroy it? What do we do?" Lucy steps forward, holding the flare gun in one hand and the dagger she found earlier in the other. The dagger's edge seems to glow faintly, as if it holds some connection to the curse. Lucy, gritting her teeth, "We have to destroy it. Now." She raises the dagger, but before she can strike, Chemuzet's form appears in the chamber, his massive, decayed body swirling with dark energy. He's no longer bound by flesh, but a grotesque amalgamation of sand, bone, and shadow. Pharaoh Chemuzet, roaring, "You dare defy me? You cannot stop the blood of eternity." The pharaoh's hands slam into the ground, sending shockwaves through the chamber. The tomb shudders as the walls collapse around them, and sand begins to flood the floor, rising toward their ankles. Tom, panicking, "We need to hurry. We don't have much time." Lucy turns to the heart, her eyes fixed on the blackened, beating mass. She feels the curse's power, pulling her in, drawing her toward it. But she shakes her head, remembering the warning Chemuzet had given them. Lucy, firmly, "I won't let it consume us. Not today." With a battle cry, she plunges the dagger into the heart. The moment it makes contact, a violent explosion of energy rips through the room. The stone walls crack, and the floor shakes as if the entire tomb is coming down around them. The heart screams, a guttural, inhuman sound, as its energy begins to dissipate. The pharaoh Chemuzet's body begins to disintegrate before their eyes, his form crumbling into dust. His screams of rage and fury echo in the chamber as his power wanes. But it's not over. The black energy from the heart swirls in the air, still trying to reach out, trying to possess them. Lucy, gripping the dagger, knows they aren't done yet. Lucy, through gritted teeth, "Stay close. We finish this now." She raises the dagger once more and strikes at the heart, this time breaking it into pieces. The room explodes in a burst of light, and the ground quakes beneath their feet. Blood of the Mummy, Part 6 EXT, Desert. Night. The wind has finally died down, leaving an eerie stillness in the air. The ruins of the tomb lay in pieces, the ground still smoldering where the dark energy from the heart once pulsated. The sky above is cloudless, but the stars seem distant, indifferent to what transpired below. Lucy, Tom, and Melissa stand in the aftermath, exhausted and bloodied, their faces etched with the weight of everything they've survived. The tomb is silent now, its curse broken, or so it seems. Tom, quietly, is it over? Is it really done? Lucy, slowly, looking at the ruins, I don't know. We destroyed the heart. But Camuset's curse wasn't just bound to the heart. He was connected to something older. Melissa, fearful, what do you mean? Lucy, eyes narrowing. That tomb, those ruins, they were just the surface. Camuset was the vessel, but there's something much bigger behind it. The blood, the rituals, it's all part of a much larger force, a power tied to the land itself. If we're not careful, there may be other forces out there that we don't even understand. The three of them stand in silence for a moment, contemplating Lucy's words. The wind picks up again, swirling the sand at their feet. The sense of unease is palpable. Tom, stepping forward, we need to leave. Whatever that was, it's not something we can keep fighting. Lucy clenches her fists, torn between the desire to walk away and the responsibility of knowing that the battle might not be finished. Lucy, softly, I wish I could just walk away, but I can't. We need to make sure this land stays buried. We need to make sure Camuset's curse doesn't find a way to rise again. Suddenly, the ground beneath them shifts and the air grows cold. The sky above darkens, and the whispers, those same eerie voices they heard before, echo once more, though this time they feel more distant, almost otherworldly. Melissa, eyes wide with fear, what is that? Lucy, gripping her dagger tightly, it's not over. It can't be. Out of nowhere, a massive shadow casts itself over the ruins. The sand around them swirls violently, lifting into the air. Lucy, Tom, and Melissa instinctively back away, their eyes searching the horizon for the source. From the dust, a creature emerges, colossal and covered in layers of ancient bandages. It's a sphinx-like entity, part creature, part human, with glowing red eyes and an ominous presence. It steps toward them, each movement shaking the very ground beneath them. Lucy, voice shaking. It's not Camuset, but it's one of his creations. A guardian. This was all a trap. The creature lets out a terrifying growl, its voice deep and guttural. Guardian. Voice like thunder. You have disturbed the slumber of the eternal blood. You will never leave. You will feed the curse. The ground begins to crack open as the creature moves forward, its massive feet leaving deep impressions in the earth. Sandstorms rise in the distance, swirling toward the creature, gathering strength. Melissa, eyes wide with horror, what do we do? We're out of options. Lucy, focused, determined, we keep fighting. If we don't stop this thing now, it'll spread. We have to destroy it before it summons whatever is lying beneath the desert. Tom, still shaken but resolute, grabs a piece of stone from the ground and approaches the creature. Lucy pulls the ceremonial dagger from her side. They have no choice. They have to face the guardian and whatever horrors it will bring. Tom, looking at Lucy, you think that dagger can stop it? Lucy, eyes locked on the creature. I don't know, but I have to try. The guardian roars, its eyes glowing brighter as it begins to summon sand from the desert around it. The sands form into violent whirlwinds, which spiral toward Lucy and her friends. Lucy, shouting, Tom, Melissa now. They charge at the creature, but the sandstorms push them back, as though the very desert is fighting them. The guardian swings its massive arm toward them, sending a wave of energy that causes the ground to crack and splinter. Melissa, crying out, we can't get through. It's too powerful. Lucy spots a weakness. The glowing red energy surrounding the guardian seems to pulse from its chest. The heart, the same as Camuset's, but now in this creature, perhaps the true source of the curse. Lucy, grabbing the dagger tighter, we have to strike at its heart. If we can reach it, we can stop it. Lucy dashes forward through the chaos, her eyes locked on the guardian's chest, with a pulsating red energy radiates. The winds howl as she moves with everything she's got. Tom, yelling, Lucy, wait. But it's too late. Lucy reaches the guardian, leaping onto its massive leg as it tries to swipe at her. She uses the dagger to climb higher, barely holding on as the sand continues to swirl around her. The guardian roars, its hands swiping again, this time striking the ground near her. But Lucy ignores the danger and climbs higher. She reaches the guardian's chest, slamming the dagger into the pulsating heart. The moment the dagger touches the heart, a scream of agony fills the air, and the creature begins to crumble, its body shaking as if it were unraveling. The sandstorms die down, and the air grows still. The creature's massive form begins to disintegrate, turning into dust. The sand that had risen around them settles back to the earth. Lucy, breathing heavily, exhausted, it's over. For now, they stand amidst the ruins, the sky now clear. The desert, once again, falls silent. The dark energy is gone, at least for now. Tom, exhaling deeply, you were right. It's never over. Melissa nods quietly. How many more of those things are out there? Lucy, looking out across the desert. As long as the blood runs through this land, the curse will always find a way back. But we will keep fighting. The camera pulls back, showing the vast, empty desert stretching far beyond the horizon. The battle isn't finished, and the desert still holds its dark secrets. The echoes of the curse whisper through the wind, but Lucy, Tom, and Melissa know one thing for sure. They won't stop until it's gone for good. Blood of the Mummy, Part 7 EXT. Desert. Dawn, the sun rises over the desert, casting long shadows across the barren landscape. The once thriving tomb now lies in ruins, its secret guardians scattered to the winds. Lucy, Tom, and Melissa are exhausted, their clothes torn, their faces marked by the horrors they faced. Yet, despite the apparent calm, something in the air feels different. The desert is quiet, but there's a lingering sense of dread, a feeling that something far more ancient is watching them. Lucy, quietly, staring into the distance. This isn't over. Not by a long shot. Tom, looking around, exhausted. Lucy, how much longer do we have to keep fighting? Every time we think we've won, it comes back worse. Melissa, worried. It's like the desert is alive, constantly changing, like it's trying to bury everything deeper. Lucy turns to them, her face resolute but tinged with weariness. Lucy, softly, the curse isn't just tied to Camuzet. We've only scratched the surface. This land, it's been cursed for millennia. The pharaohs, the rituals, they were just the beginning. There are more forces, more ancient powers, waiting to rise. And it's not over until we find a way to end it, for good. A distant thunderclap rumbles in the distance, though the sky is clear. The sound feels wrong, out of place in the vast silence of the desert. Lucy, Tom, and Melissa exchange nervous glances. Tom, nervous? What the hell was that? Lucy, stepping forward, alert. It's not just thunder. It's something else, something alive. They start walking toward the horizon, drawn by the strange rumble. As they move forward, the ground beneath their feet shifts again, like it did before. The same unnatural quaking. The sand begins to shift and swirl, creating swirling patterns of movement that seem to form shapes. Melissa, terrified, we can't keep going. We should leave. But Lucy doesn't stop. She steps into the swirling sand, pushing forward with a sense of urgency. Lucy, quietly, more to herself, the blood calls. It never stops. The others follow reluctantly, but Tom is looking around nervously, unable to shake the feeling that they're walking into something worse than they've faced before. Tom, whispering, I don't know if I can do this anymore. This desert is cursed. The longer we stay, the worse it gets. I can feel it. Lucy, urgently, turning to him, we have no choice. The more we try to run from this, the stronger it becomes. The longer we wait, Suddenly, a deep growl shakes the air. The sand at their feet begins to rise in a spiral, taking shape as it ascends into the air. From the dark doorway of the temple, a massive shadow emerges. Another mummy figure, this one far taller, its face covered by a crown of golden metal. Tom, eyes wide, fear rising. No. The figure steps forward, its eyes glowing with an unnatural light. The air around it distorts, as if time itself is bending. The figure is not just a mummy, it is a god. And the winds howl around her, and the earth seems to fight against her every step. But she presses forward, the dagger glowing with an ethereal light as it pulses in rhythm with the dark energy around her. Lucy, shouting, this ends now. She leaps toward the creature, the dagger raised high, and plunges it into the heart of the godlike mummy. A massive shockwave rips through the temple, the very fabric of the earth tearing apart. The mummy screams as its body disintegrates, its ancient power cracking like glass. The storm fades, the dark energy unraveling as the curse begins to break apart. But before it vanishes completely, the guardian's voice echoes one last time. Guardian of blood, whispering, the blood will rise again, always does. And with that, the guardian vanishes into dust. The ground settles, the air is still, the temple crumbles into the earth, the desert slowly returning to its natural state. But Lucy, Tom, and Melissa know one thing. The curse may be gone for now, but the blood always returns. Blood of the Mummy, Part 8 INT. University Archives. Night a quiet room lined with ancient tomes and scrolls. The only light comes from a flickering desk lamp. Rena Solomon, mid-40s, Egyptologist and linguist, pores over brittle manuscripts. Her fingers tremble as she translates a section of a forgotten papyrus, words barely visible. She reads aloud, her voice soft but uneasy. Solomon. And when the blood of the God King touches the sand once more, the gates shall open. The sand's wide. Lucy, whispering, a vessel, a guardian. But there's something beneath all of it, a true source of the blood curse, something still asleep. Desert. Night, a lone Bedouin elder walks under the stars, whispering a prayer. He stops at a sand dune, placing a small stone amulet into the sand, murmuring an ancient protection spell. The wind shifts. Suddenly, the sand begins to sink, spiraling downward. The old man stumbles back, terrified. From a swirling sand, a gigantic, blackened obelisk SL. Blood of the Mummy, Part 9 EXT. Edge of the obelisk site. Night, a cold wind whips across the dunes as Lucy, Tom, and Melissa approach the rising obelisk, now fully emerged from the sand. Towering, ancient, and not made by any known civilization. Its surface glows faintly red as if alive, veins of energy pulsing like blood beneath stone. They step out of the truck, weapons and gear ready, eyes wide with awe and dread. Tom, low, shaken. That thing doesn't belong on this earth. Lucy, whispering, no, it was buried for a reason. Melissa, then why is it waking up now? Before Lucy can answer, the ground trembles. A deep groaning sound, stone grinding against stone, echoes from beneath them. Suddenly, the sand caves in, and the three fall screaming into darkness. INT. Subterranean chamber. Moments later, Lucy blinks awake in flickering torchlight. Around her, walls lined with skeletal remains, fused with black crystal. Ancient carvings pulse with an eerie, red glow. Tom and Melissa sit nearby, stunned, bleeding but alive. Melissa stares at a mural on the wall. Melissa whispers, these aren't gods, they're monsters. Lucy, not looking away, no, they're predecessors, worshipped before Osiris, before Ra. Entities that fed on blood, woke only when summoned by sacrifice. The mural depicts rituals, rivers of blood feeding a massive entity cloaked in darkness, a god thing with 1,000 eyes. Below it, a blood moon, the desert soaked red. Suddenly, a distant scream, human, echoes through the chamber. Tom, snarling, we're not alone. They move deeper into the tunnels. The red glow grows stronger as they pass long-forgotten hieroglyphs, some moving as if breathing. The deeper they go, the more reality seems to bend. Whispers rise from the walls. Some speak Lucy's name. INT. Chamber of the Sleeping Ones. They enter a massive room, filled with dozens of sarcophagi, larger than human, fused into the walls. At the center, a dark altar, and standing before it, Rena Solomon. She turns, eyes glowing faintly, her voice low and reverent. Solomon, they called me. The blood remembers. You shouldn't have come. Lucy, what are you doing here? Dr. Solomon, you don't get it, do you? Camuzet was just a keeper, but these are the first, and they are waking. Suddenly, one of the sarcophagi cracks open. A tall figure steps out, its body humanoid but stretched, skin like obsidian, its face hidden behind a ceremonial golden mask. Its fingers end in long, serrated claws. It turns its head toward Lucy and speaks in perfect ancient Egyptian. Ancient entity, Firm, hollow voice, the blood, is not yet satisfied. Tom, raising weapon. You're not getting another drop. Tom fires. The bullet stops midair, suspended by invisible force. The entity raises one hand. Tom is thrown back, slamming against the wall. Lucy, screaming Tom. Melissa rushes to him as Lucy steps between the creature and her friends. Lucy, you feed on fear, on pain. You think we'll. They rush down the spiral staircase as the creatures roar, awakening fully. Screams echo behind them. The whispers grow louder. And above, the blood moon begins to rise. Deep below, unknown location, they reach the bottom, only to find a massive underground chamber. Circular, endless, walls made of pulsating living stone. At its center, a throne, and in that throne, a colossal mummified being, wrapped in golden, rune-etched bandages, taller than a two-story building, breathing slowly, waiting. An eye slowly opens beneath the bandages. Pure black. Lucy V. From her notebook. They called it the sleeper in red. It does not move. It does not speak. It waits until the blood wakes it. The eye looks directly at them. Blood of the Mummy. Part 10 INT. The chamber of the sleeper. Continuous, the massive mummified god being. The sleeper in red. Remains unmoving on its throne, but its open eye watches Lucy, Tom, and Melissa. The air in the chamber thickens. The stone beneath their feet pulses like a living thing. Melissa, whispering, terrified, it's awake. Lucy, not fully. Not yet. The eye narrows. Symbols on the chamber walls begin to glow crimson, like veins beneath skin. The whispers that once echoed around them now rise into a voice. A single, low, soul-rattling tone that vibrates through the stone. The sleeper, inhuman, ancient, the blood has flowed. The seal is weak. One more, and I walk again. Suddenly, the stone beneath Tom's feet cracks, and he drops to one knee. His hand bleeds. The blood runs through the cracks, snaking its way toward the base of the throne. Lucy, no. She grabs him, pulling him back. The blood vanishes into the stone. Too late. The sleeper shifts slightly in its seat. Dust and time fall from its shoulders like ash. Melissa, Lucy, what is this thing? Lucy, quietly, it's not a god. It's not even a mummy. It's a parasite, wrapped in worship, sealed in time. It feeds on blood, belief, fear. Suddenly, from behind them, Dr. Solomon enters. Her eyes glowing, body marked with carved symbols. Solomon, it cannot be stopped. It was here before us, and it will be here when your bones are dust. We are merely the offering. She raises an ancient obsidian blade, aimed at Melissa. Lucy, Dilling, no. Lucy tackles Solomon just as the blade comes down. The two women crash into a pillar. The blade clatters away. Solomon hisses, more creature than human now. Her skin is cracking, revealing something else beneath, scaled, inhuman. Tom, Lucy, the throne. Tom rushes toward the throne, where symbols glow beneath the sleeper's feet. A circle of glyphs, 7 in total. One of them, the glyph of Anubis, is already glowing brighter. Lucy, shouting, those are seals. If we break them in reverse, we can put it back to sleep. Melissa, how do we do that? Lucy, I don't know yet, just stall it. Solomon lets out a piercing shriek and lunges again. Melissa grabs the obsidian blade, blocking her. Sparks fly. The chamber begins to shake violently. The sleeper's hand is moving now, twitching with ancient muscle memory. Tom reaches for the glyph of Horus, but it burns his hand. Tom, Ark, it's protected. Lucy races to his side, opens her notebook, flips frantically through sketches. Lucy, there's a pattern. The seals, they must be deactivated in ritual order. Sacrifice, binding, judgment, blood, time, spirit, light. She looks at the glowing Anubis seal. Lucy, Thuntid Anubis is judgment. That's third. We need to find the first one. Sacrifice. They scan the glyphs. One depicts a figure kneeling before a blade. Lucy touches it. It glows blue, and the glyph begins to dim. Lucy, Thuntid got it. One down. A deafening roar fills the chamber. The sleeper's other eye begins to open. Solomon, snarling, you'll never stop it. You can't unmake the blood once it's spilled. Melissa lunges and stabs Solomon with her own blade. Solomon screams, body disintegrating into dust and light, collapsing like paper. Melissa, Guess I missed that lecture. Lucy scrambles to the next seal. One by one, she and Tom begin to break the glyphs in sequence. Each one dims with a flash of blue. With every seal, the sleeper groans, its power faltering, but also growing more unstable. The final glyph, light, is etched into the ceiling above the throne. Tom, we can't reach that. Lucy, we don't have to. She pulls the ceremonial dagger from her belt, the one passed down from Camuset's time, and hurls it with precision. The blade hits the final glyph. A blinding white light floods the chamber. The sleeper lets out a final, echoing roar, one that doesn't sound angry, but almost disappointed. Its body begins to crack. Light shines from within. The throne crumbles, taking the massive figure with it. Dust and ancient stone rain down. Lucy, run. They sprint for the spiral stairwell, the chamber collapsing behind them. Eite, obelisk sight. Night, they burst out onto the surface. The obelisk is splintering, the symbols flickering and dying. The blood moon fades from the sky. Stars return. Silence, just wind and sand. Lucy falls to her knees, catching her breath. Melissa, is it over? Lucy, for now. Tom, but it'll try again, won't it? Lucy nods, solemn. Lucy, not unless someone wakes it. And we're gonna make sure no one ever does. The camera pulls back, revealing the vast desert. Quiet once again, but far, far beneath the dunes. A single eye opens in the darkness. It does not blink. It does not move. It waits.